If you've had a baby recently, or maybe it's been years, but you're still struggling with really getting your core muscles back, trying to tone your midsection, you may have what's called diastasis recti. And no matter how you say it, diastasis recti, it's a very common thing that can happen after pregnancy. And today I'm going to talk all about some of the hidden secrets and things that you can do to help your midsection heal and restore your core and pelvic floor after pregnancy that doesn't require exercise. There are a ton of great exercises that I will talk about in future videos about helping heal this area after labor and delivery. But there are a lot of things that women don't realize they could be doing on a daily basis as part of their lifestyle that makes the core and the pelvic floor muscles not be able to heal themselves the best way. So, my name is Dr. Dawn Andalone. I'm a pelvic floor physical therapist. I've worked with a lot of postpartum women. Now, having diastasis myself after having a 9-pound baby, I know what it can feel like and look like when you still feel like you're 4 months pregnant, or you just struggle with being able to do traditional ab exercises and feel like you could be making things worse. That is very common for women that do have diastasis recti. Well, your rectus abdominis, your deep abdominal muscles underneath there really need to strengthen. That's your transverse abdominis, and working on strengthening those deeper layers underneath your rectus abdominis. Rectus abdominis is that superficial layer that kind of makes the six-pack abs, if you see. But your transverse abdominis, deeper underneath that layer, is what we really want to focus on when you're thinking of exercises and ways to be able to activate those deeper layers to help tone your midsection and help with that separation that you have there. Now, the separation can come also with the depth and having 2 fingers that you're fitting between that area, going deep and lower into there. So if you've been assessed by a pelvic floor physical therapist or looked online on how to assess yourself, there is a lot of information out there on that. But going back to lifestyle changes and things that can help this area outside of exercises, what you really want to do, number one, is look at how your posture and how you're standing throughout the day. It is so common if you're holding babies or you're lifting anything, or even when you're standing doing dishes or standing in line at the grocery store, it can be really common to go back to that pregnancy posture where we kind of sink our hips forward, we're sticking our ribs out and creating that bigger curve in our lower back. So instead, if you think of staggering your feet when you are standing, you're going to stack your ribs over your pelvis, over your hips, and therefore it's going to allow you to breathe easier, and it's going to allow for those muscles to engage the best way. Instead of standing with your feet next to each other, it's going to be easy to sink back into that pregnancy posture, which weakens the abdominals and creates more susceptible lack of engagement of these muscles here. So think about that. If you're standing in place, just stand in a staggered stance, or maybe you've gone back to work and you're standing at a desk. That can be a great way where it unloads your back and allows your core muscles to do their job as well, and allows this area to heal even better too. Number 2, with that said, you want to work on breathing exercises. Now, I mentioned that this video is not going to talk about exercises, but breathing is something that we take for granted, but it really is when you're doing it mindfully and thinking about your breathing techniques that can actually help this whole area work properly and help your function in your diaphragm, which is the top part of your core, and your pelvic floor at the bottom part of your core. So with that said, you can practice any diaphragmatic breathing exercises. I have other videos talking you through this strategy, but you really want to think about, if say you're sitting in the car or you're standing, you're holding your child, you want to think about expanding your rib cage side to side instead of always breathing this way. So when we think of an umbrella opening and closing, your rib cage is expanding this way. What that does, it gets more air down into your lungs, allows this area to get more engagement through your core. And if you've ever done Pilates exercise, this is something that is talked about a lot with 360 breathing or rib cage breathing, but that can be very helpful with restoring the pelvic floor and the core function to get those muscles working properly too. So number 2 would be working on diaphragmatic breathing exercises, rib cage breathing. Belly breathing is fine too, but if you are thinking of the rib cage breathing, that's going to get more into the area that you need to access that a lot of times gets stuck after pregnancy because we don't have as much rib cage movement during pregnancy. So a great way to restore that afterward is working on the rib cage breathing. Now, the third thing that I want to mention that does not include exercise with diastasis is not clenching your abs and your butt muscles all the time. This can be very easy to do, especially if you're self-conscious with feeling like you got a little belly pooch or that you still feel like you look 4 months pregnant. But if we go around and tighten those muscles all day long, you're going to create a lot of extra tension on your pelvic floor, and therefore it's not going to work this area properly. So you want to make sure, go back to the breathing and think about that every so often, that you are letting go of those muscles. So when you're sitting or you're standing, or if you're holding and lifting, yes, you want to engage those muscles as you lift. But outside of that, if you're just walking or you're standing in place or sitting in the car, just check in with those muscles. Are you clenching and tightening your abs all day long? That way you can't get a deep breath. Or are you tightening your butt muscles all the time? So over-clenching your abs can actually be detrimental to be able to help heal this area and get it firmer, stronger, and more toned. So think about those 3 things when it comes to healing your postpartum core. There are a lot of helpful exercises that you can do, but those 3 tips, I find that most women with diastasis, myself included, after pregnancy, I had to work a little bit harder on and think about those habits and if I was doing those throughout the day. That can be very helpful, and it translates over to if you were to have another baby, get pregnant again, just things to think about, so therefore you can have less strain and pressure on that abdominal area. I hope you found this helpful, and I also have a best-selling book on Amazon called Beyond 9 Months. Takes you through the postpartum recovery journey, and from a pelvic floor physical therapist eyes, what are the most important things to focus on and how you can really be an advocate for your own recovery and healing, whether you had a C-section or a vaginal delivery, and how to recover after pregnancy. So thanks so much for watching, and I hope to see you again in another video. And I wish you the best with healing your core and your pelvic floor and working on the right types of things that are gonna be able to help you feel more confident in your body.